What's up, guys? It's Nick from Train Effective. So yesterday I was on the phone and came into the Effective house and I saw everybody gathered around the computer, and I asked you guys, like, what are you watching? And turns out they were all watching Matt from Become Elite, and I was like, why are you watching Matt from Become Elite? I went over to the computer and I was looking on the screen and I kind of couldn't believe it. It said a message to Nick from Train Effective. So here's my reaction. Let's watch this together.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today's video, I just want to do like almost a little message, and I think it's important. I think a lot of people need to hear this, and it's just something that's been kind of not bothering me, but just on my mind a lot in the last month or a couple months or so. So first off, I've been following Nick Humphreys from Train Effective for pretty long. I mean, pretty much since day one or day two of the 100 Days to a Pro contract. I thought it was an amazing idea. I thought following along to do this is so undocumented everywhere, and it reminded me a lot of when I was chasing after a contract over in Germany.
So he just mentioned the 100-day challenge here. If you guys don't know what the 100-day challenge is, the 100-day challenge, I basically did this challenge where I wanted to become a pro football player in 100 days. So I left my home in Australia, I quit my job, had a really good job. I quit everything basically, and I came to Europe to chase the dream of becoming a pro footballer in 100 days. Basically what happened, I did like 3 open trials and I really worked my ass off, a lot of training, a lot of exercises, everything. I really put everything into trying to get a professional contract in 100 days. The end result was I got scouted, and that was the outcome of the 100 days. Now, since day 101, things shifted a little bit. I started talking more about the idea of starting a club, some of the problems that I saw in the football industry that I haven't just seen just the last 100 days, but throughout all the last 8, 9, 10 years of playing. And I started talking about this club, Effective FC. Anyway, let's continue.
And I related to a lot of things, you know, the struggle, the grind, going from place to place, facing a lot of rejection. I connected a lot with that, and I thought it was a very, very cool idea and message and everything. And whether or not it worked out in the end, I think is irrelevant, because I mean, the main idea is going after something that you truly believe in and going after it 100% with conviction. And I think that Nick did that amazingly well. However, as these days started to go on and on, as it got closer to the end, and even up until now and recently, I feel like the tone has shifted from ignore the critics and go after your goals to, excuse my language, but fuck the critics, fuck the coaches, fuck the gatekeeper. It's corrupt. This is not fair, and screw this. And I think that's a very bad message to be spreading, and I really don't 100% agree with it, to be 100% honest. I do believe there is corruption in football. I believe there's corruption in everything, in all facets of life, but it's your attitude and the way you look at stuff. And if you see that as an opportunity, or you just kind of say, screw this, you know, it's not going to work because of other people, versus looking at yourself and saying, despite all this, I can still do it. And whether or not that, Nick, you want to become a pro or not, or if you want to still go after it, I know you're starting the Train Effective, or the Effective FC. I think that has the opportunity to be a very cool thing, but I just don't like that idea of screw this, there's a gatekeeper. I think this idea of the gatekeeper is 100% wrong.
Now, I think what Matt is getting wrong here, and what 99% of people watching is getting wrong, is that I have quit trying to become a professional footballer or trying to get to the next level because I'm blaming others for not being able to get a chance. That's not the case. The 100 days got a lot of momentum. I got a lot of momentum. But as I started training with these other clubs in the 6th, 7th, 8th tier of English football, which is a good platform to get into the professional leagues, I was training with these teams and something didn't feel right. And that's genuinely 100% the place that I was coming from. And playing in those clubs and playing in those environments where coaches seem very negative, You could see the politics that were happening behind the scenes. You could see the egos. You could see unhappy players, unhappy coaches. It made me personally lose the joy of playing and lose the joy of trying to break into the next level, because I was trying to impress people that I didn't like, I didn't respect, and I couldn't do that anymore. It didn't make me happy anymore to continue the 100-day challenge this way.
And people that are going to say no, and they have the opportunity to give you that contract, and they're going to say no, but they don't control your destiny. And I don't think...
No, they don't control your destiny. It's absolutely right, they don't control your destiny. If you keep pushing and you keep believing in yourself, like what I've been doing the last 9 years, 8 years, you will get somewhere. And I've done that. I've proven that with the progression that you've seen. You can go way back into the history, link in description, when I was doing blogs. You can see that progression. I never stopped.
Calling them a gatekeeper to your goals is right. I think the attitude that should be had by players is it's extremely difficult to get a pro contract. It's extremely difficult to do this, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say no. And it's not fuck them, it's look, that timing wasn't just right. Maybe the opportunity wasn't just right there. Keep pushing, be persistent. It's going to work out.
Right, and that is something that I've been doing for years. Even through the 100-day challenge, things would not work. Maybe I wouldn't score. Maybe training wouldn't go bad. I would keep pushing. And that applies to everything. Whether you're a footballer or someone who wants to be a successful businessman or musician or whatever, you have that attitude. And I talked about having that attitude every single day. So what Matt is saying already, it doesn't add up to all the things that I've been saying, okay, those 100 days and in the past.
Reflect on your own self. What do I need to do? What do I need to improve? How can I approach this differently? What other opportunities exist? And I know you did a lot of that. I know there was a ton of reaching.
Matt, I did so much of that you wouldn't believe, mate. Like, way before you started putting your stuff online, I was putting my stuff online. 2009, that's what people don't understand. I started a blog in 2009. It was called Chasing the Dream. The link is in the description. I documented every single week about my football journey. And I would approach trials. I've been to dozens and dozens of trials and trained with so many different teams, both at the amateur, semi-pro, and professional level. And each time I'd succeed, or actually in this case, each time I get rejected, I'd go to the coach, guys. I'd go to the coach and I'd ask, what can I improve? And that is what propelled me from being an amateur player, crap, no chance of playing professionally, to making baby steps up and up and up until one day I was offered something.
Now, even going through LinkedIn, I watched honestly almost 50%, 75% of the videos. But lately, as it got into the 100th day and past the 100th day, I just feel like the attitude completely shifted into a negative one. And you preach a lot. And I honestly like this, that you preach a lot about negativity and people bringing up in comment sections, just negative comments and saying, you're shit at soccer, you can't do this, blah, 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 I think is pointless and it's ridiculous. And I never think that you should go after somebody's dreams or goals and say you can't do something, because that's been a big part of my life, is having a lot of people say I can't do stuff. Even, I was told I can't play college soccer, I can't play semi-pro, I can't start on a D1 team, I can't play pro. Been told by, I think, 15 teams that cut me or rejected me. And I guess I'd never looked at them as gatekeepers. I just looked at the opportunity there at that moment wasn't right. The timing wasn't right. How do I...
Matt have a similar story, okay? We've been rejected numerous amount of times, but we kept going. And that's what brought us to this place now where we could play at this high level. That's a message to every kid, to every player out there, to everybody that gets rejected or things don't work out. You just always take lessons and you apply them and you keep getting better and you keep consistent and you keep working hard. And that's what will bring you to the next level. Right, Chatty? That's what will bring you to the next level. So me and Matt share that same message. Something I preach.
Approach this differently. What can I do different? And you have this amazing opportunity with 25, I don't know how many subscribers you have now, but 25,000, 25, maybe 30,000 plus people following you and looking up to you and spreading this idea of this negative idea that it's corrupt, it's pointless, it's not fair, it really bothers me. Yes, I mean, even like the topic that you brought up in your football is corrupt video, yes, there's open trials and tours and stuff that is very corrupt. I mean, anytime that you pay for an opportunity, you have to be a little wary. And yes, there's people that pay their way into clubs sometimes. Yes, there's people that get starts or pro contracts over other people where it really seems unfair and doesn't make sense. But to get that negative mindset and to think to yourself, it's corrupt, it's not going to work out for me, there's a gatekeeper that's blocking me, is just, I don't agree with that. I've been to open trials myself. I've done open trial at the Portland Timbers, open trial at the Vancouver Whitecaps. I got selected even for the Vancouver Whitecaps open trial. There was 2 players selected out of that open trial out of 300. I was incredibly excited, got brought into preseason. 2 days later I was cut. And I mean, whether or not that opportunity was like a scam just to promote that open trial, I won't know. But instead of thinking that it was corrupt, I was just looking at it as a positive outcome. Like I contacted Sacramento Republic and I told them I was being brought in by Vancouver Whitecaps too, and that prompted them to be like, well, are we missing something? Is this, why is Vancouver looking at Matt? And that opened up the door to Sacramento. And Sacramento, I didn't get a professional trial, and honestly, there were players that had the pro contract that I thought that I was the same level, if not better than, and I was confused as what was going on, and corruptness or whatever, I didn't even look at that. I just looked at it as, cream rises to the top, keep working, keep going, and eventually it does. And
he is right. Cream does rise to the top. You keep going through those rejections, you keep going through those bad people, you keep going, you keep pushing through, cream does rise to the top, and he's right, and I agree with him on that.
In college, I would look at people being drafted into the MLS and seeing their name up in lights, people that I thought, I played against and I played better than, and it was hard, but...
And that's what happens in football games, in football, in anything. You look at some people that you might have played with in the past, and somehow they're doing better than you in the time being. And that's hard to take. It's very hard to take. You can get jealous, you can get frustrated, you can ask yourself, oh, my training isn't working, or life is unfair. But if you keep going, different outcomes can be made.
The whole time, like the mindset I think that should be had is, it's the timing of things, and it's going to work out, and you just have to keep working hard. And anytime you shift into, fuck them, they're holding me back, they hold my destiny, they're gatekeepers, screw this, it's unfair, I think that's the moment where you really fail.
This has been bothering me for such a long time. Fail. Really? Matt. Okay, look. You got selected from an open trial. Okay, congrats to you. You were one of 2 out of 300. Okay, congrats. Obviously, that shows that you are talented. But listen, Matt. These clubs are making millions upon millions of dollars for an opportunity that may not really exist. It's made up because they want to make money. Money. M-O-N-E-Y. And instead of me saying something like, oh, this is just how it is, I can't do that. And to continue the 100-day challenge and keep doing things that way, to keep paying money for these people just so they can buy their fancy cars and to get nice watches and to support an ecosystem that I don't support, I can't do that. I can't keep the 100-day challenge. I can't keep that going like that. By doing the 100-day challenge, like that, doing it that way, I'm continuing to support and promote these old-fashioned, scammy, crap methods that hundreds and hundreds of thousands of players, young kids, all over the world and their families are getting scammed and ripped off on. In the football world, there are people that will take advantage of people's dreams, guys. Dreams. The dreams of players and their parents. And I can't support that, Matt. I cannot support it after everything that I've seen with my own two eyes. Kids getting scammed. 100 kids going to Italy from Australia, from Canada, from the US. 100 kids going to Italy. Their parents paying $3,000 a month. And 90% of the kids shouldn't be there. But the people involved in these organizations, those so-called academy directors, they're paying off the people in clubs. One of those players there can hold up a shirt and pretend that they got signed and it looks good on social media, so all the parents think it's a good job. I can't support that anymore. I can't let the YouTube community, the people, the kids watching this, the players, parents, I can't let you guys be taking advantage of things like this again. I can't. So when I think about, well, how do we change things? Me being entrepreneurially minded, I thought, all right, if we're going to change football, as someone who wants to change the world, as someone who wants to make a positive impact in the world and make the world a better place, the biggest way I thought that this could be done is through the vehicle, through the platform of a football club. Effective FC. A club with its own philosophy about players standing together for what's right, to give joy to people playing, because when you get to that professional stage, it becomes like a military boot camp, and I want to bring that joy to the players playing. I want to give opportunity to players from all around the world, from every race, from every nationality, whether you're big, whether you're small, whether you've had experience or not, it doesn't matter. I want to give players a level playing field, a platform to showcase themselves, to give a chance to people that have been denied because of the status quo. And that just doesn't include me. That doesn't just include me. That includes a whole squad. 10 other players, 15 other players, a coach, coaches. You know, how a club is run, how you get people into the club, making real opportunities, giving real opportunities.
It's been bothering me, and I don't want this message to be spread, and I don't want kids thinking that, having that mindset of I'm not going to make it as a pro because it's corrupt, or when they get cut from a team, their first instinctual reaction is to be like, that coach it's political. This coach just wants him because of this reason. And I know that does happen, but having that mindset is what kills you.
All right, let me just take it from here, guys. Listen, I've never blamed anyone. I've never said it's anyone's fault, ever. I'm someone, guys, if you've really followed my content, I've always said, make no excuses, make no excuses. Guys, I've been preaching that forever and ever, and that has never, ever, ever, ever changed. That's why I preach no excuses when you come home from school and you're tired and you say you don't have enough energy to train. That's why I say, make no excuses, go and train, go and show what you got. You guys can see these clips. Or when you get cut from a team and the coach doesn't select you, I say, guys, give it another go. Improve on your weaknesses. Make your strengths second nature. Go, improve, make everything great. You still have another chance. You have time. You can do it. I preach that stuff all the time. Come on, Matt. Listen, my life has been to never give up, to keep on going, And that's what led me to something like this now. I had no academy experience, and now I'm fighting to get in these professional teams. That has been my story, Matt. But don't try and undermine me, brother. I have complained about coaches. I've complained about how trials are run and how fake some opportunities are. I've complained about that stuff. I shared that stuff. But don't get it twisted, guys. Don't get this twisted. I've not given up. I've complained about coaches. I've complained about how open trials are run. I've complained about bad trainings. I've complained. I've failed. I've been defeated. Got back up again and failed again. But I've kept going, and I've always been a preacher of trust the process, keep going, stay consistent, and you can make it to where you want to be. In those times you want to give up, you keep going until you get where you want to be. You as a player have to have something that separates you from 99.99% of all the other players out there. This is always going to be true, and this is something that I will always preach, and I've never stopped preaching about. Don't get it twisted. Don't ever back down from a challenge. Don't ever back down from a chance. Don't ever give up. But Matt, come on, brother. Don't tell me that I'm spreading a toxic mindset, a negative mindset. Are you serious? Listen, that stands against everything that I've ever said or ever put online. That goes against everything. There is content from way back, way before you ever started putting anything online, Matt. I was preaching about the struggle, about the process, about everything that you're trying to say now that I'm spreading a negative mindset. Are you serious? I find it just appalling. I find it appalling that you're saying things about me which just aren't true. That you're giving an impression to your followers that I'm some bad guy who's spreading a toxic mindset that is making people's lives worse. Bro, it's got me thinking like, Matt, why have you posted this online and you never talked to me about it, bro? Like, and I'm sad because I was a big supporter of you, Matt.